Residents and business owners are really feeling the impact, so how long will it take to fix?
Christy, that's the biggest question right now. We don't know how far this breach goes, and right now we don't know how long it'll take to get this network system back up and running again, but the city says that's what they're working on to try and get services back to normal for the folks in this community. Talk about a blue screen of death. Your system has been tested for security, and unfortunately, your system was vulnerable. Sources say that's what IT and North Miami City staffers started seeing on their computer screens amid what the city's calling a possible breach of its network system.
They're in big trouble because they have what is called a ransomware attack.
Reginald Andre is a cybersecurity expert. We showed him the message, which reads, "We specialize in file encryption and industrial espionage. Nothing personal, it's just business. We recommend contacting us as your confidential files have been stolen and will be sold to interested parties unless you pay to remove them from our clouds and auction or decrypt your files."
This happens because there's some type of vulnerability in the system. Either it's an update, somebody clicked on something.
City Hall has essentially remained closed for business as the city's IT team, along with local and federal authorities, investigate the extent of the breach.
Kind of like an onion. If you put layers and layers and layers of security, you can be pretty close to making sure this doesn't happen.
Andre just hopes there's a backup.
All of their documents, their emails, whatever programs the city uses for planning and development, and if they do not have a backup, that means that they have to start from scratch.
The city's yet to say if residents' personal or city personnel data were compromised or if any of the city's financial tools or bank accounts have been impacted.
They're not screwing up the city, they're screwing up the people in the city.
Leland Neal just wants his permit to open up his restaurant. Until then,
We're stuck.
the mayor says manual steps were taken to safeguard payroll and plans to get services back up and running were also being finalized. We saw some of that progress yesterday afternoon when the city started taking water bill payments via check and money order. We also saw some folks going in and out of planning and community development here outside the city, but mostly just for information's sake. We have some other offices over in City Hall. There's a woman sitting there at the front desk basically telling people they're closed, but you can still make those water bill payments. So in the meantime, we're learning, of course, that it is against the law for municipalities to actually pay these ransomware hackers or attackers anything. Again, under law, that they cannot do that. But they are also required to report these cyber attacks to the state if and when they happen within a certain amount of time. Insurance then takes over after a lot of that stuff. So how this kind of plays out and how long it'll take before these systems get up and running again, still unknown. But as soon as we learn, we'll pass it along to you right here on Local 10 to Local10.com. We're in North Miami. Larry Livingston, Local 10.